When people think back to extinct species, it's easy to focus on the dinosaurs. After all, there's no film called Pleistocene Park, unfortunately, but strewn throughout history is an abundance of fearsome beasts that rival any dinosaur in the terror charts. Today we're going to look at 5 of them from all walks of life, from marauding mammals to creepy crocodilians. We're going to start with the latter, and Carnufex carolinensis. This late Triassic crocodilomorph was one of the top predators at the time in its region, and though it was a role it would soon lose to the emergence of theropods, well, for a little while this beast was nightmare fuel. Carnufex wasn't as large as the crocodilians that would follow after it, at only 3 meters or so long and 1.5 meters tall, but it had something pretty original. It walked on 2 legs. Like an unholy mixture of a dromosaurid and a crocodile, this ferocious meat-eater's name translates to the Carolina Butcher. That should give you some idea as to its ferocity. Chasing down other early creatures across muddy sediment plains, this beast used rows of serrated teeth to gorge itself on smaller herbivores, including potentially breaking through the armoured coverings of attosaurs. Not a lot is known about the hunting habits or environment of Carnufex, but it's safe to say a crocodile charging you down on 2 feet, serrated teeth bared and snapping at your stomach, well, that's something to fear. Into the seas for our next creature, and it's one a lot of you will know well already. Dunkleosteus, featured in Jurassic World the game for example, and Ark of course. This placoderm, an extinct class of armoured fish, was one of the very first vertebrate apex predators, and looking at it you can really see why. The largest species in this genus could grow as large as and potentially past 6 meters long, and it weighed up to a ton. But it's not the sheer size or that thick armour plating that made this such a terrifying creature. No, it's the teeth. Now I say teeth, but instead of traditional teeth, the Dunkleosteus instead had 2 curved bony plates that it could open and shut in less than a second, about 600 milliseconds, and with a bite force that would likely be enough to tear you soft squishy humans in half. Sorry. A gigantic plated fish that rivals the biggest great white sharks for size and preferred to hunt on inshore waters? You better hope you're not going swimming in the Devonian era. Now for a creature that our ancestors would have actually come face to face with, Meg Alania. This gigantic monitor lizard only went extinct as recently as 50,000 years ago in Australia, meaning it is possible that Aboriginal humans faced down the ferocious beast and possibly contributed to its extinction. But it can't have been easy. Not only was it potentially 7 meters long or so, depending on which paleontologist you believe, not only could it potentially have run at blistering speeds of up to 10 kilometers an hour, but it was likely venomous. Yes, this large lizard was probably venomous in the way that its relatives, such as the Komodo dragon, are. Though the effectiveness of these venoms is disputed, it's suggested that they act as an anticoagulant. So not only do you have the jaws of this monstrous predator clamped down around your chest, but you're going to bleed out substantially quicker than you might have otherwise, drained dry until you're naught but a slab of meat ready for the beast to feast upon. For our first mammal, we're going to avoid the mammoths and my beloved giant sloths, and instead talk about the entelodonts. This family of pig-like mammals, including creatures like Entelodon and Daeodon, was actually more closely related to hippopotamuses and whales than it was to pigs. But unlike both of those, they had a taste for flesh. Despite being omnivorous, these ginormous slabs of bacon probably prefer to hunt down live prey, including extinct rhinoceroses, or feast upon carrion. Yes, a creature that looks like a giant big pig would have hunted down and slaughtered rhinos. That is pretty bloody terrifying. With powerful jaw muscles and gigantic canines, perfect for slicing flesh apart, it's no wonder that this family is commonly referred to as the Hell Pigs. I wasn't quite sure where to go with the final creature on our list. There's so many awesomely terrifying creatures out there that it's hard to pick just 5. But I couldn't finish the list without including the terror birds. I mean, it's in the name, isn't it? Known scientifically as forest rackets, this extinct clade were basically gigantic flightless birds roaming around on 2 legs, just like ostriches and emus. That doesn't sound too spooky, until you realise they were the apex predator of their time up to about 2 million or so years ago, and that they were also carnivores. Standing up to 3 meters tall, these ancient birds would have been more than capable of ripping a human into shreds, with powerful beaks that typically curved down at the tip, a design made for rendering flesh. For a long time it was thought that these birds would have mainly hunted smaller prey, small mammals, rodents, that sort of thing. But recent evidence is suggesting that they would have instead hunted horses and other large mammals of the time, chasing down their prey with blistering straight-line speed before plunging that curved, sharp beak or pinpoint talons into the supple meat of their target. There's so many more terrifying prehistoric creatures out there. I simply picked 5 of my personal favourites from a variety of different environments. Let me know what you'd have included on the list yourself in the comments down below, and let me know if you'd like to see anything else like this tackled in future videos. Thank you so much for joining me. Please do hit that like button if you enjoyed this video, it really helps me out. And I'll see you lovely folks in the next one. Cheers, much love, and as always, bye bye. Hey guys, if you enjoyed this video, please consider smashing that like button down below, it really helps me out, and also hitting the subscribe button if you want to be kept up to date with brand new videos about dinosaurs, animals, aliens and everything else we do here on the BestInSlot channel. All of you who have subscribed so far, that's awesome. Make sure you hit that little bell icon and highlight now, otherwise you may actually miss out on the content anyway, because YouTube is silly. Thank you guys so much, much love.